Hey guys, this is Vanilla. Welcome to Web Dev Introduction IST series. Today I'll be covering topics like the basics of HTML, the introduction, the style attribute, the formatting of elements, the lists, and finally we see how we create a form using the HTML. What is a HTML? It stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a standard markup language for creating web pages. It describes the structure of web page, consists of series of elements, and the elements tells the browser how to display the content. A HTML element is defined by a start tag, some content, and an end tag. See, this can be a HTML element. There is a start tag, there is an end tag, and there is a content in between them. HTML tags are like keywords which defines that how a web browser will format and display the content with help of tags. A web browser can distinguish between an HTML content and a simple content. This is a simple HTML document. All HTML documents must start with a doc type declaration like this. The HTML doc type declaration defines that this document is an HTML document. The doc type declaration represents the document type and helps browser to display web pages correctly. It must only appear once at the top of the page before the HTML tags. This is the HTML tag. The doc type declaration is not case sensitive. And then comes the HTML tag. The HTML document begins with the HTML and ends with, let me show you, this. There's extra slash. Coming to the next, we can see the title. The title element specifies a title for the HTML page, which is shown in the browser's title bar on the Pages tab. Let's go ahead and check. Here I have given the title as HTML. In the web browser, the web page has the title HTML. Cool. Next, coming to the head tag. The head element contains meta information about the HTML page. Meta information is nothing but the data about the data. First section in the code that contains information about a web page's properties and links to external related files. For example, in HTML head, you can have the title of the page, meta tag, CSS code about the HTML page. Coming to the here the head tag ends. It consists of title. Coming to the body. The body element defines the document's body and is container for all visible content such as headings, paragraphs, images, hyperlinks, tables, lists, etc. Here my body begins. The document's body begins, and whatever is in between this body beginning and end tag, that will be present in the web page like this. Let's go ahead and see what are these H1, H2 up to H6 tags are. Coming to the HTML headings, these are like titles or subtitles that you want to display on the web page. HTML headings are defined with the H1 to H6 tags. H1 defines the most important heading, H6 defines the least important heading. This can be differentiated with the help of font size. Like, see this is written with H1 and this is with H6. This indicates the most important thing. By the font and the boldness, we can distinguish between them. We can use them to add subtitles wherever you want, or the headings. Coming to the HR tag here, the HR tag defines a thematic break in HTML page and is most often displayed as a horizontal rule. It is used to separate content in an HTML page. So here I have used a HR tag right after this is heading 6. So we can see a line, this line after this is a heading 6. So it separates two different contents. Here I have described about the headings, here about the paragraph. These two can be separated with a HR. Coming to the HTML paragraphs. Here I have used H1 heading to uh, mention that this is HTML paragraphs. See the heading of the page, heading of the particular block looks like this, HTML paragraphs, highlighted, bigger in size. The HTML element defines a paragraph. See, this element defines a paragraph. A paragraph always starts on a new line and browsers automatically add some white space, a margin before and after a paragraph. Let me show you. This here the elements, the tag started and here it ended. In between there, this is a paragraph is written. Whatever is in between these two tags will be printed on the web page, right? So let's go ahead and see. We can see this is a paragraph. And next, when you start another paragraph, P and tag P, this is another paragraph. We can see this is another paragraph automatically in the next line. But if you see, this is a paragraph. This is a paragraph has a lot of lines. All these lines are separated. Like you have pressed enter after this, after this, after this. But in browser, it doesn't look like this. It looks clumsy. Let me show you. This whole paragraph will not be considered like there won't be any breaks. There won't be any new lines. The next line won't be started in the actual next line, but whole together it comes in one line itself. So this is a paragraph, has a lot of lines, but in web browser it will not be seen like this. This is what we have written in the code using different lines, but in web browser it doesn't show like this. Coming to the next paragraph, this is another paragraph. It has a lot of random spaces in the code. Actually, you have written it like this with a lot of spaces and breaking of the lines. But in the web page, it looks like this. The paragraph 2, this is another paragraph. You'll see a lot of, but in web browsers, it just ignores everything. Like the spaces, the new lines, everything. How do you sort that? We can sort it using the pre-element. The HTML pre-element defines pre-formatted text. This is the solution with pre. You just have to add pre-tag and end the pre-tag and write everything you want it exactly how you want to display it in the HTML, the web browser page using the same spaces and the new lines. If you use pre-tags, this exact same thing will be shown in the browser. See the solution with pre, if you want there's some space and the new lines are also there. I mean, every line starts in the next line. The text inside pre-element is displayed in a fixed width font and it preserves both spaces and the line breaks. Coming to the HTML line breaks, see this is an example where we can use the BR tag. This is BR, a paragraph BR with a line break. So this is a paragraph. Here I have used the line break element twice. The BR element doesn't have an end tag. like how the head, the body has the end tag, the BR doesn't have an end tag. It has only the starting tag. So whenever I use this BR, right after this, it goes to a new line. Let's see how this particular line looks in the web page. The HTML line breaks. There was a BR right after this is, so a paragraph goes to next line, the same with the line breaks. So this is how you can go to the next line. Coming to the HTML styles, the HTML style attribute is used to add styles to an element, such as color, font, size, and more. All elements can have attributes, like style is an attribute. They provide additional information about the elements. They are specified in the starting tag always. We can see setting the style of an HTML element can be done with style attribute. The HTML style attribute has the following syntax. Tag name equals to property and it has some value, where the property is a CSS property and the value is a CSS value. We'll come to CSS later, but just remember the syntax. We can see there are like numerous styles we can use, style attributes we can use, the properties we can use, how to give a background color to a text. See, I have written something in this paragraph tags and I have used the style attribute and the background color is burly wood and I have written some text. Whatever text I have written, the background of it becomes the color burly wood because the property is background color and I have chosen the color. There are like numerous colors we can use. Right now I have taken this. Let's see how it looks in the web page. The background color property defines the background color for an HTML element. The dog's bark is actually colored in the background with the wood color. And the background color is tomato, the wolf's howl. We can see the tomato color in the background of the text. If you want the whole web page to be in different color other than white, by default, the whole web page color is in white. If you want to change the color, you just have to add the style at the body. Like this is an example code. If you add style near the body at the starting, we have seen what body is. If you add style here and add background color is equals to something, then you can observe that the whole web page becomes that particular color. Yeah, you can just try it out. And coming to the color property, it defines the text color of an HTML element. Like the style attribute has the property color and the value blue. So the dog's bark will be in blue color now, and the wolf's howl will be in red color now. Let's go ahead and check. See, this is the color property. The dog bark is in blue, the wolf's howl is in red. Coming to the font family property, the whatever text we have written will be in different fonts. Here I have chosen it as impact, and this particular line will have a cursive font family. If you go ahead and check, this is how it looks like. The font family property defines a font to be used in an HTML element. The dog's bark is in the impact, and the wolf's howl will be in cursive. Yeah. Coming to the font size property, it defines the text size for an HTML element. It is usually expressed in the percentages. Whatever the dog's bark will be 300% and the wolf's howl will be 160%. Relatively, the wolf's howl line will be smaller. You can see this. This is so big and this is relatively small. Coming to the text align property, this defines the horizontal text alignment for an HTML element. Here, it can be centered, the value can be centered, left, right, anything. The properties text align. So I have made these two to be in the, usually by default, everything comes to the left. If you want something, some text to be in the center, you can use this text align center. This is how it looks like, the dog's bark. If you don't use the center alignment, it goes to the left. We have used it, so it comes to the middle. Coming to the formatting elements, HTML contains several elements for defining text with a special meaning. Formatting elements are used to show special text like bold, italics, subscript, superscript, deleted text, etc., etc. See, this is an here it's written like this is a normal text. This is the bold tag. Everything enclosed here will be bold. The bold tag will be B. Let's see what's the difference between the bold and the normal text. This is the normal text, and everything is bold here. Whatever is enclosed between the B is in the bold. Now let's go ahead and look at the strong tag. There is no much difference between the strong and bold tags. But as a convention, if there is some text that needs to be in bold because of its strong importance, then we can use the strong tag. So here, just a second. So here the importance is enclosed in between the strong tags. Let's go ahead and see how it looks like. Only the importance word that is enclosed between strong is, it is bold basically. So both are same. Coming to the italics and the emphasis. This is the italics tag. Everything enclosed in between the I will be italicized. And coming to the emphasis tag, there's really not much difference between them. But as a convention, if something needs to be emphasized, you can use the emphasis EM, this EM. So only emphasized will be in italics. Let's go ahead and see how it looks in the web page. This all was enclosed in the I, and only this part was enclosed in the EM. Everything is italics. Coming to the small tag, this is a smaller text. The text font size will be smaller relatively. This is like a normal text. This is how if you use the small tag. Coming to the subscript. So using the subscript tag, everything enclosed in these two sub start and sub ending tag will be subscripted. This is a line and this comes below this line because it is a subscript. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. So using the subscript tag, everything enclosed in this tag gets to the bottom because it is enclosed in the sub. Same the superscript. Whatever is enclosed in the superscript will be at the top of the normal text, like this. Coming to the mark tag, do not forget to buy milk today. The milk is enclosed in the mark tags, which actually highlights the milk. The mark is nothing but the highlighter. See the milk. Milk is in the highlighted form. Coming to the Dell, it doesn't actually delete the word which is enclosed in between the tags, but it strikes. Here, my favorite color is blue, red. The blue is enclosed in the Dell. So the browser just strikes it off. Coming to the insertion, my favorite color is blue. It is enclosed in the del tags, and red is in the insert tag. Insert text is INS. So if you add insert, then if anything is excluded in a text, it will be inserted. Like we can see, it actually underlines it. More importance. My favorite color is blue is striped, red is underlined. Yeah, it underlines it. Coming to the div element, yeah, the div element is often used as a container for the HTML elements. The div element has no required attributes, but style, class, and ID are common. We use together with CSS, the div element can be used to style blocks of content. See, I have used the div tags and the style attribute with the background color black and the color white. Color is nothing but the color of the text. Background color is the background color of the whole text. And the padding is 20 pixels. Padding is nothing but the space between its content and the border. So I have taken the heading as London, and then I have written a paragraph. Let's go ahead and see how the elements in the whole division block will get these properties. The heading and the paragraph gets the whole styling, the background color and the text and the padding, all the styling. Coming to the span element, span element is a container used to mark up a part of text or a part of document. The span element has no required attributes, but style, class, and ID are common. When used together with CSS, the span element can be used to style parts of the text, just parts of the text. Here, my mother has, I have used span here, and I have used a styling attribute, and then blue is in the styling attribute, and my father has, again I have used the span. I have used the brown color to indicate the brown eyes. So here the blue and the brown will get the styling. Let's see how it looks. My mother has blue eyes and brown. My father has brown eyes. These blue and brown are span. Coming to the lists, HTML lists allow web developers to group a set of related items in a list. There are three types of ordered, unordered, and description lists. Coming to the unordered list, an unordered list starts with a UL tag, and each item starts with an LI tag. Like the whole unordered list will be in these starting UL and ending UL, and whatever you want to list, the items will be enclosed in between these LI tags. So the list items will be marked with bullets by default. Let's see how this looks like. The list, the material required, pencil, paper, compass. These were enclosed in between the LI, and as they are in the unordered list category, they will be listed with the bullets by default. We can actually change it by using CSS, which we'll learn later. Coming to the ordered list, an ordered list starts with the OL tag. Each list item starts with the LI tag. So the list items will be marked with numbers by default, but we can change it to Roman numbers, alphabets, like however we want. So the OL, the list items are here. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. Coming to the description list, HTML also supports description lists. A description list is a list of terms with a description of each term. The DL tag defines the description list. The DT tag defines the term name, and the DD tag describes each term. So we can see it is all under the description list tags, and the DT unordered list, it's the name, and DD helps to define the unordered list. As the name suggests, this list have no order. By default, the list begins with a bulletin point. So the DD is helping to explain the DT better. So same here, I've used order list to explain order list, I've used DD tag, and for description list, I've used the DD tag. Let's go ahead and see an order list, and we'll get automatically some space in the description. Space in the description. Coming to the HTML forms, form is used to collect user input, and the HTML form element creates a form for the users. The action attribute specifies where to send the form data when a form is submitted. When you submit a form, it whatever you write here, it gets submitted to that place. Like you can mention a URL, so the form goes directly there. Here I just have used a hashtag, the matter. Coming to the field set element, you can group related form controls together inside a field set element. This particularly helpful for longer forms. Most browsers will show the field set with a line around the edge to show how they are related. So I have used a field set here. This is how your form looks like if you use field set. There's a box drawn inside the form, outside the form. Uh, this legend element can come directly after opening the field set tag and contains a caption which helps identify the purpose of the group of form controls. So the legend has, I have written your details. So this looks like this, your details, and then the enclosure, the box. Coming to the label element, it is useful for screen reader users because screen reader will read out loud the label when the user focus on the input element. The label element also helps users who have difficulty clicking on very small regions, such as radio buttons or checkboxes. Because when the user clicks the text within label element, it toggles the radio button or the checkbox. Coming to the input elements, these are used to input a specified data. Here the type attribute is text, which implies this input element is a text field. Type is text. Coming to the name attribute, it is used to specify a name for an input element. It is used to reference the form data after submitting the form. Here the size is 30 and max length is 100. Let's see how it looks like. We can see a name, and there is a box of size 30, and the length can be 100. And then we have used the break to get into the next line. And then now we have used the label to write the email. The input here is type attribute here is the email, which implies that the input has to be an email. And name is email, size 30, max length 100. So this is how it looks like. Email, same like name. Space to write the email. Now there is another field set. That means there will be another box, and the legend will be your review. The box will have the heading like your review, and it says, what did you hear about us? So we can see there is a review, there's a box, your review box. What did you hear about us? The select actually creates a drop down menu, and it has the option element defines an option that can be selected. By default, the first item in the drop down list is selected. Here, the attribute value contains a single value name which describes the name of the input element. Here, the name is referrer. The values can be Google, friend, advert, other. So this is what we have to write: the Google, friend, advert, other. This option defines the option that can be selected. So this is how it looks like. The drop down menu: Google, friend, advert, other. These are all the values. So it says, would you visit again? And the radio button type allows the user to select only one of the buttons where the buttons all have a common name. Here, the input type is radio, name rating, value yes. Yes. And if you want options like yes, no, maybe, this is how we can write it. And this is how it shows. Yes, no, maybe. These are the radio buttons. And coming to how was your experience? Again, we can use the radio buttons with same name, and the value is good, okay, bad. And this is how it looks like: good, okay, bad. Here, actually, you can go ahead and click these, but it allows only one at a time. Coming to the checkboxes, the difference between the checkboxes and radio buttons is we can multiple checkboxes can be selected. The input type is checkbox, name is subscribe, checked will be checked, sign me up for the email updates, and there will be a small box visible before this text. And this is how it looks like. Sign me up for email updates. You can sign it. Coming to the submit, submit button submits the form. So the input type is submit, value, submit review. Submit review. You can actually go ahead and submit it. Coming to the, so we just have to close the field set and the form and whatever we have opened before, like the body and the HTML tags. Thank you.